Good morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you're watching this.
Welcome back to the Dr. Joe Show.
Welcome back to the Dr. Joe Show. Nothing here is medical advice. Thank you for tuning in. Today, we have a special guest with us, a local expert on sea moss. Leslie, welcome. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you, Leslie.
Thank you.
Leslie's a friend of my niece, Lily.
Yeah.
Shout out to Lily. She was supposed to be
Yeah.
here, actually.
Shout out, Lily.
I forgot to remind Lily to come. I got busy.
Oh, so it's your fault. I'm just kidding.
It's my fault.
So we've been hearing about sea moss. I'll be honest with you, I haven't done a lot of research on sea moss, and I've seen it in the stores. I've seen it at health food stores. I see it as a powder. Usually it's green. Tell us about it. Tell us what you've learned, why you used it.
Okay. So first of all, I don't know. I was on the internet like a normal day, and I was just scrolling, and I heard the word sea moss. This was like a year or a half ago. And then I was like, okay, what's sea moss? And then I started reading, and it's an algae, kind of seaweed that grows in the ocean, like in the Caribbean side, like St. Lucia, around over there. I read the benefits. It's says to be 92 minerals of the 108 that we need. It helps with, especially for women, it helps with their period, helps with, cramps, the PMS, all the issue, hair, skin. So I was like, okay, all right. That sounds too good to be true. So I literally did it like half of your research. I went based on what people were saying too. You can read a lot of studies, articles, and it's, of course, the FDA is going to be like, oh, don't take those because, it's dangerous.
We did a whole podcast on that, or we can
on why the FDA needs to be dismantled. No, we'll talk about that later. Go ahead.
I'm not, the FDA is there for a reason, I guess. But, people get scared when they, read that and they're like, okay, I'm not going to take it. But then again, that's why I did half a year of research. And I was like, I was going to buy it. I actually bought one from Amazon and it never got to me. So I was like, okay. So then I was like, why don't I just try making it? So my husband did some research, and he found good quality, because you can't just buy it, because there's a lot of fake stuff out there, right? Like anything. So I made sure it was the legit stuff, because if you take the fake stuff, it does worse than good.
Really?
Yeah. Because it's fake. It's
Yeah.
full grown. You want wild craft. It says wild craft sea moss. And usually the raw. You don't want no powder, no pills. Oh. Don't go for the pills.
You went on the deep end on your research.
Yeah. I wanted to make sure I have the real legit stuff. And then I found it. So I started taking it. I started posting it on social media, on Instagram, and
We gotta have your Instagram underneath for people to follow.
yeah, of course. I started just posting me taking it, and people were like, "Oh, what are you taking?" And then I explained to them. And I had a friend that it was by accident that I started kind of selling it, and I sold it to her, and then she started. So it's like little chain, and then now. Everybody calls me the sea moss girl, the sea moss guru, the sea moss queen, the sea moss. And I mean, I'm not doing it because, let's say if it ends tomorrow, okay, at least I got people informed. I got, especially women, because I feel like us women, nothing against boys, nothing men, we go through a lot more. Like we get birth. We have to get ready, for birth. We have to, the aftermath. We don't get informed much about how to take care of our bodies. It's just like, go have a baby or prep for a baby. You know what I mean? There's not a lot of care around that. So this is another form of a way a woman can start taking care of themselves with inflammation. You get inflamed, bloated, the periods, like I mentioned, hair loss, people straight go to the doctor and the doctor's like, oh, take medication here. They rather take a pill.
Minoxidil, Rogaine, name it, right?
Yeah, especially with depression. You know, it helps with mood. I mean, honestly, I'm not making this up. Like, I got reviews. I tell these ladies, give me reviews. Either they're bad or good. I don't care. I take it all. Like, and I have not yet received one bad review.
From the ones you make, or
Yeah, from the ones I make.
is it something like anyone can do, or
Yeah, I mean, like I said, my husband's the one that provides the stuff for me, and
So he
I don't,
procured the ingredient?
Yeah, he doesn't. I don't know who he buys it from, so that's
Okay.
I don't know if it's like private. They don't want
Okay.
to, go big. Some
Right.
people are like that, especially in that parts of the world, because the one that we get is from St. Lucia.
Okay,
So maybe I don't know.
and they just ship it to you?
Yeah, he just
okay.
he doesn't give me more details. He's a very
Yeah.
we're married,
But
but
point is, like, you guys figured out how to do it. Anyone can.
anybody can do it.
Yeah.
But again, you want to make sure, like they said, I took 7 months of research before I pulled the trigger, because I didn't want to just get, like you said, you've seen it at the store. If it's cheap, it ain't good.
What if it's expensive?
That's another thing. It can be just marketing. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Like, for example, if Kim K, let's say that's the first person I think, slaps something on a bottle, oh, it's $100. Some people are going to pay for it just because it has her face on it. So again, you have to kind of know what you're doing, because anything can be, hey, take this, marketing. If you can. So, I mean,
What is it? Like, what's the ingredients though? Like,
it's just the algae, the gel. It's the sea moss. It's again, like it's
it
the
comes
algae.
in like in a gel. or-
Well, I have some if you want to see it, try
yeah,
it.
let's
Yeah.
try it.
Okay. So, like I was explaining before, it's sun dried for
It
months.
looks like ramen.
Yeah, it looks like ramen.
It looks
you're
like
right.
Parmesan cheese.
No, it's
Cup of noodles.
not. So it's sun dried until it gets to this. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, this.
Totally
Daniel
not.
will
It's
see it.
totally not what I was expecting it to look like.
What are you
either.
expecting to look like?
I was expecting it to be green.
I was
Yeah.
expecting like seaweed type of stuff.
I mean, there's different
That's-
colors. This is the gold one. There's purple. There's red. I mean,
Pretty cool.
it's I started taking this. I haven't taken the other. I guess the other ones work for different stuff. I mean, the other ones say it's more like oceany taste. This one, it doesn't. I mean, I make plain and strawberry. The strawberry one tastes like strawberry, and the plain is just plain.
But if people in Yuma want to buy from you, you will make it for them? Or?
yeah,
Yeah?
I will.
We'll put that on the short for Yuma and Clango Charles
of
as well.
course, yeah. Again, the gel, it does take a while to make, though. It takes 36 hours. Because
Okay.
it's a process. You have to
And
clean
we'll
it.
have your Instagram underneath.
yeah,
Is that
yeah,
okay?
yeah. You
for
have,
people to.
yeah, you have to clean it.
I might want to buy some.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I brought 2 jars so you guys
Oh,
can
thank you.
take
Well,
it.
thank you.
Yeah.
I'll give it to
Appreciate
my
that.
wife because you said for female.
No, men can take it too.
Oh, men too?
But
Okay.
men are more like, no.
Is it for like hair loss or?
Yeah, I can.
But everybody needs minerals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And vitamins. And a lot of people don't take those.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, of course.
And for the local ones in Yuma,
Yeah.
it's perfect for them to get a hold of Leslie and.
So you mentioned something,
gotta follow you.
the difference between it being wild foraged and then growing it in a pool. Tell us about that.
So again, it's let's say, how can I sell more? That's what these people think. Like, if I go and do like a little, because I've seen people do farms like in the ocean of this, and it's the wild craft.
Because it's growing in seawater.
Yes, in the pool, it's chlorine that they're using, and again, you want to avoid all that stuff in your body. So you're trying, and these people, I mean, it's legal. They haven't gone, punished for it, but you can smell it. You can, see it, the salt. It's too much. And it's not crisp. The way I notice it's real versus it's fake, the salt, how it looks. If it looks kind of like crystallized, it's real. Like salt from the sea.
Right.
If it's like table salt, it's going to be, coarse kind of rock look like type of deal.
So they'll put table salt in water.
Pretty much, yes.
And they'll just start growing it in there.
Yeah. And
I mean, if you put sea salt in a bucket, that's at least a more accurate way to try to grow it.
I guess I
You would
haven't.
think?
I don't grow it, so I can't really go into that and tell you.
Interesting.
But
Okay.
yeah, that's what they say to stay away from the pool grown because they use chlorine and it has that smell of chlorine.
But this is why we
Okay.
need to come back. Like, I think the antidote to big box retailers, grocery stores, is local.
Subsistence farming.
And you can't get more genuine than Leslie. She doesn't do it as a business. I mean, she has,
It's like an interest.
Customer. Yeah, it's an interest,
Yeah.
and it's helped so many women. Honestly,
but you're like a heel worker, or what do they call it?
honestly, I actually have a master's in psychology, forensic psychology. But
Wow.
at the moment, I'm not using it because I'm a stay-at-home mom. So, like I said, it was just something that I was doing it for my health, and I was like, I don't want to gatekeep it. If it's helping me, if I can help
Wow.
women around that are local that are like suffering from these things. I mean, around America, infertility is like high. Like women are having a hard time getting pregnant.
If you're watching this in Yuma, you need to go connect with Leslie on Instagram right now.
I feel like we are so scared of going the natural route, like our ancestors. Like we were born to be in the natural nature and the wild, you know what I mean? And I think we've gotten so accustomed, like, oh, let's go to the supermarket and, ideally, I mean, a dream of mine is to have a farm, have my own cows and, goats and just go back and, the old way of living, still having some modern in it, but not just rely on what's in the stores because like you were seeing, the ingredients are crazy on some of the stuff. So it's crazy. I mean, we live in a world that it's more convenient to go get a cheeseburger than to make it at home. I mean,
Look at health disparities. I mean, you see like heart disease, cholesterol, diabetes in neighborhoods where there's more fast food than you do in the more affluent suburbs.
yeah.
It's not rocket science.
I mean,
Yeah, and the only way to really deal with it is to vote with your dollar. It's on the individual American
Yeah.
to stop spending money on terrible food. And unfortunately, seed oils hijack people's brains. They taste good.
Another episode of Esther Generation.
Oh, look at that. We brought up
Yeah.
Esther Generation again.
I gave the book to my dad. Did you read that book? I think you would like it.
No, I haven't.
I got to get you a copy.
Yeah, let me know.
I'll get you a copy.
Yeah, send me a message and so I can look at it. But yeah, I mean, I think again, convenience or what's cheap. Supposedly it's cheaper to go to McDonald's or fast food, but nowadays, no, it's not. It's cheaper to go buy like chicken or meat and make your own food at home. So I'm trying to teach my children that,
It has to start from the parenting.
Yeah.
Anecdotally, though, from this CMOS, like what are some of the use cases for it that you've seen personally?
For me,
Or from people like...
so my hair after I had my last baby, it was bad, like falling, and I would just go like this, and I tried cutting it, and I had to cut it, and now it's like I can feel it more. It's growing more. My skin, again, after having my last child, I was breaking out. Never in my life broke out. Like here, especially when I was going to get my menstrual cycle, it was bad. Like several pimples under my lip. And I'm like, I'm not 15. Like, what, And so then I've seen that skin. Also, my menstrual cycle, it was bad. Like, again, after having children, they say, oh, after you have children, it's going to be great. No. I think, again, they don't prepare you for these things. It's just go have a baby. Good luck.
You give up a lot of minerals, a lot of precious minerals to the baby.
Oh, yeah.
So it leaves the mother deficient.
Iron. I think that's one of the things iron is one of the things after having given birth that I'm experienced. My iron.
Does CMOS have iron?
I mean, it has.
It has some.
It has the 90. I mean, I don't know. I can't. I mean, I can't write down.
But then it has selenium and molybdenum and manganese and vanadium and chromium.
Yeah, all 92 of the 108.
Wow.
So, I mean, I should have brought you the list, but I can't pronounce most of them. So, but I mean, for me, again, going back to what I was saying, my menstrual cycle, that's the one thing that I think women, especially around here, would benefit from. Like lighter, not painful, bloating. It's helped me. And many reviews I've gotten, I make sure, like, give me reviews. They've said that too. The bloatness, weight loss. I have, I think, around like 2 guys that have been taking it. And one of them just told me they lost like 6 pounds ever since they started taking it.
Wow.
I don't know. I'm not a guy.
No, it's
you guys'
anecdotal.
metabolism,
Yeah, it's anecdotal,
your
yeah.
metabolism is different than ours, so you guys can lose weight easier than us
Mm-hmm.
because again, we carry babies, so we need that extra fat somewhere. So, but yeah, I was like, I don't know if it was. He told me since he started taking it, so I was like, oh, I'm not saying it's the CMOS, but I'm one of the contributing factors, maybe. I don't know, but
For sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny that you just defined what a woman was, and you're trained in forensic psychology.
Yeah.
Hey.
No, you're not a biologist.
I'm not.
No.
But
Anyway.
I know basic biology, right?
So, but on a serious note, in healthcare, I've noticed that there's not a lot of good treatments for abnormal menses. Those patients just get referred to OB, and they just become a part of this assembly line. And I think that the discussion always comes back to food. It always comes back to,
Yes.
well, what are you eating? Oh, well, you're eating that fast food thing, or you're deep frying this, or
Or you're drinking soda.
or yeah, you're drinking soda. Like
soda.
drinking soda. Soda is like anti-nutrition. Soda is
empty calories.
is horrific. High fructose corn syrup, it just obliterates all your vitamins and all your reductive
yeah.
Rest
potential.
in peace. The guy who painted he worked in this building 20 years. One of the last things he did was paint our suite next door. Never drank alcohol, but his habit for like 30 years,
soda.
multiple big gulps a day, just passed away of liver cancer.
Oh my gosh. All that sugar.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
so it's funny that you said that, corn syrup. So we were in Europe for 3.5 weeks, and that's one of the things we did not see in the ingredient list. The majority of the foods that we consume, 0.
And also, their pesticides are outlawed. Most of them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, atrazine isn't really allowed there. I think there's a lot of atrazine around us, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lettuce
We're-
grows around us, so they're going to, spray that stuff all over.
We don't have CMOS around us, but now we do.
I mean, yeah. But going back to, my trip to Europe,
Sure.
I told my husband, like, even before that, like, he's like, why are you reading the labels? I'm like, because I just want to know what's in it. Like, and he came back and he was reading. He's like, why is corn syrup on in everything here? I'm like, thank you. I've been trying to say this for the longest time, like, as crazy as you might look at the store, looking at the, labels, I think we should start doing that, because then the less we consume those things, maybe it'll click. Maybe or not. The government would start poisoning us. I think it's a poison, but I might sound
That's
like
not far-fetched.
I'm glad you said it.
I got nothing to lose.
We've been saying it on this show for a year.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
I mean, between the EPA allowing polonium to be in cigarettes for several decades, they're allowing, smoking's bad, okay,
Yeah.
but they allow nuclear bomb material to be in cigarettes. EPA, good job, EPA. FDA approves aspartame, which is a neurotoxin. It causes brain tumors. CDC, just look at the last few
gosh,
years.
yeah, let's not talk about the CDC.
Just look at the last 3 years, the biggest idiot clown show
The real
ever.
issue is regulatory capture.
And then you got USDA. They're just whipped by Canada selling canola oil, and then you got Bill Gates trying to tell
yeah.
people that peanut M&Ms are better than
The
grass-fed
meat,
beef.
yeah.
Just do the opposite of what Bill Gates says, everybody.
Yeah.
Anything he says, just do the opposite. You'll probably get it right.
So you should use Mac, not Windows.
No.
Well, I'm not sure how involved he is in Windows these days, but unfortunately, everything's being written for Windows.
I think these
still.
3-letter agencies, like I don't know why in Europe that's not the case. Maybe they're corporate entity, but it's regulatory capture. Like you get these FDA agents who like higher ups who work with big pharma on regulating them, right? Then they have a buddy like, hey,
Money.
Bob, you did a great job, at the FDA. We know you're getting close to retirement. How about like jumping on our consultant for our company? And then boom, so it reinforces like this revolving door between big corporation and regulators that are supposed to like guard us.
Yeah.
But it became, how can I advance my career quicker?
Money. It's all. Honestly, it's how can I get richer?
Yeah.
Like-
Not saying all of them do that, but that's
No, but the majority-
a known
I
thing
mean-
is regulatory capture, which
and the most recent atrocity that the FDA has committed against the American people is not permitting nicotinamide mononucleotide to be sold anymore, even though it's a natural product, and they want to turn it into some prodrug or some homolog or analog molecule to make money off of. When nicotinamide mononucleotide is a major part of the niacin pathway, and it's the precursor to NAD. If more people got on nicotinamide mononucleotide, I don't know what would happen, but maybe the FDA doesn't want that because they know that they could capitalize on it. And that's the problem we have. That's why the FDA needs to be dismantled. But no, we're just talking about seaweed.
Yeah, it's sea moss. Yeah.
Sea moss.
No, honestly, I think if this would go bigger, I think the FDA. I mean, it will slap a thing.
They'd outlaw it.
It's not approved or don't take it because it will tell you. It's studies. There hasn't been enough studies to tell you how good or bad.
Who's
it is.
going to do a clinical trial? Like,
Here's the cert right here. These statements on this podcast have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration,
Yes.
and you should talk to your doctor before doing anything that we're talking about here.
Yeah.
So there.
No, it's true. You have to. I tell these girls, I'm like, hey, you're taking it at your own risk. I don't want you to come back and like try to sue me because I mean you're not gonna get nothing out of me. It's just honestly, it's worked for me and it's been working for all these
no,
girls.
I've heard so many good from my niece.
Yeah.
She's the one. That's how I know you. So you were saying like they could leave reviews where. Where can
honestly,
they do that?
I don't have a website. Again, this is just happened. If like I said, if it goes away tomorrow, I think I did my job to inform the people.
Yeah.
But they can just Instagram.
Oh, Instagram. Okay.
Yeah, Instagram, honestly, or
Just
Facebook.
like a comment on your post or something.
Actually, just send me a message and just leave a review.
Oh, that's what you mean by review.
Yeah,
Okay,
review.
okay.
Yeah, or you just by. Like when you come pick it up or if we meet somewhere, like just tell me like how's it going? Like honestly, one of the things and it's
is that like the finished product?
No, that's
okay.
that's the raw sea moss.
Okay.
This is the raw sea moss.
Yeah, before it goes into being the gel.
And you have the gel?
Oh, I do, yes. And I got you guys each a jar.
So the gel is what you eat.
Yes.
So
you can't eat that. No.
You can't eat this?
No, I have not heard one person say they can eat that. No.
So you can't chew it up or anything?
No, it's not beef jerky. No.
It's pink. Wow.
Yeah, because it's strawberry.
Ah, okay.
So.
No kidding. Because Lana, who just left, I wish she would have stayed. When I said sea moss girl's coming, she was like, ooh, like she made like this vomit noise. Like she doesn't like it because she tried it. Not from you. But she tried it from somewhere before and didn't like the taste. But the fact that you've already thought that through, you're making it, I'm assuming, taste like strawberry.
Yeah. I mean, if you have a spoon
She's
somewhere.
done it all.
If you want to taste it,
We have spoons.
One each.
Okay.
Spoons. Let me get a spoon.
Yeah. give it
The
a
only
try.
thing, it is thick. This one did come out a little thick. Usually the strawberry one is not as thick because of the strawberry. Strawberry naturally contains more water.
Yeah.
So how I make it, it's 1 cup of water. No, 1.5 cup of water. 1 cup of the sea moss already. It gets very jelly. It's like a jelly, like
Okay.
it looks like tentacles, like
Okay.
And then once it's in that form, that's when you blend it and it's ready. So that's why it takes 36 hours
To just sit in the water.
But you have to make sure you're changing the water because it's pulling water because it's expanding, and it's releasing whatever's hidden in. Because you know how it looks like hay, right?
So you
Or-
could like scrub your body with this?
No.
Is that how scratchy it is? Like it almost looks like a loofah.
It looks like a loofah. It looks like people say it looks like a sponge, and a lot of people ask me if I heard the reviews on TikTok of what sea moss. I guess this is where it started. I didn't have a TikTok until like January of this year, and I don't know how to work TikTok, so that's why I haven't really explored.
Sure.
But a lot of people are like, oh, I heard the sea moss from TikTok, and I'm like, oh, really? And they're like, yeah. And then people make their reviews of how to take it, and I guess people follow people because of that. I don't know.
Oh yeah, but that's social proof right there.
So the thing is how you take it.
Lily says that she should have came.
She should have.
I forgot to remind
it's
her.
It's okay. I mean,
I did put that, Lily. I put this in your calendar. We were sitting at your mother-in-law's house. I put this in your calendar, so you saw it in your calendar.
All right.
So I did remind her in a way.
So
Now I noticed you made this on 420. Now I hope that doesn't signify anything else.
No. It's just that I came back.
Best by 518.
Yeah. So it's good for 3 to 4 weeks if you take care of it.
So you got to take it.
That. You can't.
No, because then it starts getting, especially with the strawberry, it starts getting like little white specks, and it's like, I'm not good, or it smells very, very, very
Whoa,
fishy.
It's tough. It's like
yeah.
Daniel, you're missing out, man.
So you can only take up to 3 tablespoons a day. Tablespoons.
otherwise.
You can get iodine poisoning because it contains iodine.
Nah, it's not a big deal. Okay.
So don't take more than 3, please.
Don't do that, guys.
Please
contact
don't.
your doctor, especially Yuma clinical trial.
So a lot of people, I can't take it. I already took my 2. I usually take one at night because it helps me sleep better. And you can mix it in smoothies. You can mix it in your
Not
drinks.
as bad as I thought it would taste. It does taste like strawberry.
You can have friends. I have a friend in Texas that she takes it and she puts it in her tea every morning. People say, "Can I put it in my coffee?" I don't know. I just like my coffee. I like my coffee how it is. I don't need extra nutrients in it. So
What do they say about you don't California my Texas?
Oh, yeah.
So don't see moss my coffee.
yeah, don't see moss my coffee.
Yeah, don't
Hey.
see moss.
But honestly, what do you guys think? Did you guys?
No, it's way better than I thought.
Really?
Lana scared me, the girl you met.
Yeah.
I've never tasted sea moss.
It's
in my
not
life.
bad. I mean, like the strawberry flavor was very mild, even though it looks very strawberry-ish.
Yeah.
It's very doable.
If anything,
like-
it was just bland. It wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad.
That's the right
and the
word,
strawberry lingers with you.
Yeah,
not,
yeah.
Not anything fishy or it's
Yeah.
just strawberry linger.
So my husband took it for a couple of weeks, but the first week it says it flushed him out. Like he's like, I couldn't stop going to the restroom. It didn't give him diarrhea.
How much
but
did he take? Like
Just
one
frequency.
spoon?
2, yeah. I think he took one.
Like one of these a day?
One of these a day.
Well,
and
we
it-
just did.
Well, we-
this
well-
podcast might end soon.
We better get home. We'll see you next time. No.
No, so I'm just warning you again.
Yeah,
That's just
yeah.
the warnings I tell the ladies and the men that have taken it. Like, I'm not saying it's gonna keep you in the bathroom, but frequency. Like, and then a lot of women. I have people that said I don't go more than once a week. I'm like, what? Like, how are you alive? Like, your body needs
That's
to
bad.
like dump that thing out,
Yeah.
and that's why they continue to take it because it's helping their digestive system, their gut health. That's
Well, I appreciate this.
a new trend, like gut health. Like,
Oh.
everything's gut health.
Dr. Hazen, this is, you got to meet Leslie. What's your Instagram, Leslie?
My Instagram is
I'll follow you right now.
it's I think I don't even know my Instagram. Just look at my name up. It's Leslie Lesly Lesly and more MORR.
MORR.
Yeah, I should pop up.
Oh, yeah.
So
Followed by Jaid.
yeah.
It's the other videographer. All right. Followed. This is where people contact you?
Yeah. I haven't made a separate account because, again,
I like this.
I didn't think this was gonna even.
You don't need a separate.
Get
This
big.
you are
Yeah.
like the reason. And in Yuma, if you're in Yuma, you're lucky enough to. So far, your clients are just here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, I mean, there are, I can say all over, but the gel,
Okay.
for the gel is here.
For the gel.
For like the raw, because what I do, I sell the gel locally and I sell the CMOS out of the state or out of the county. Because
Okay.
the gel, I mean, it's easier for people.
So then, even for Dr. Joe Show fans, we'll put the link underneath
Yeah.
it.
I think, yeah, all the links. Make
There'll be
sure
people-
we got to make sure we get all
Because
the
this one
links.
we're
and throw them
putting
in
on
there.
Yuma, Kalenko, Charles, and
Okay.
because this one's different than most of ours.
We
'cause
want
it's
to promote
local.
local businesses that are making clean products.
Yeah.
That's why we brought on Clyde with Desert Olive Farms,
That's
making
right.
the
That's
best
right.
olive oil that you can find. And now we got the CMOS.
Yeah. It's just water, sea moss, and strawberries. And the strawberries are usually my dad. He works with a farmer in California.
Okay.
He usually gets a strawberry. That's where I usually get my strawberries from. So it's like good quality strawberries, not just.
And you're a Yuma local.
Yeah.
Born and raised, or
Yes,
Yeah.
I was born and raised
Wow.
in Yuma. 30 years ago. Yeah. Actually, in that hospital. It was a lot smaller, but yeah, that's where I was born. My parents are actually from Mexico, Sinaloa, Mexico.
Sinaloa.
Yeah.
And where'd you get your master's?
I got my master's in GCU.
Okay.
That's where I went. I mean, I did it online.
And you did undergrad?
I did an
there?
undergrad in Kansas, Sterling College.
Oh, okay.
It's a little Christian private school. Because I actually, so I started my college career in Phoenix. I went to a community college called Gateway Community College.
Yeah.
I played soccer. So I did 2 years there, and then I transferred to Kansas, Sterling, Kansas. I did my last 2 years there for my undergrad, and I graduated with just a psychology major with I think it was a minor in criminal justice. Because my young self, I didn't have kids. I wasn't married. I was gonna say I wanted to be in the FBI. I don't know why. I wanted to just learn about the behavior analysis. All the why people kill people. Like that interests me. It still does. But then I met my husband, started my family, and I mean that went out the window. That wasn't my priority anymore. So again, I do this stuff to make my family healthier, make myself healthier, because I want me to be here for a while, see, my kids grow, grandchildren maybe.
And you found CMOS just on accident.
An accident, honestly, because I was hearing it like, oh, CMOS, and I'm like, what's CMOS? Again,
I
a year
never
and a half
heard-
ago, I did not
Other
know.
than my niece, who she said, I don't know if I could share her story, but it worked miracles in
Yeah.
her situation.
Yeah. And again, it sounds too good to be true,
Yeah.
but I have the, what I
I was
mean?
like, really, Lily? All right, let's have her on Dr. Joe show.
Yeah.
We'll put her to the Dr. Joe test.
yeah.
And you got to be willing to experiment on yourself a little bit.
Yes,
I
and
mean,
I
this
did.
is an
So you're going
experiment.
to tell your patients about Leslie? The female one or the male too?
So my
yeah,
question
if they're
is,
interested.
So my question is, Dr. Joe, what you're in? I know the medical fields, but like, what's your specialty?
Internal medicine.
Internal medicine.
So adult medicine is what I'm
Okay.
trained in. Yes.
Okay.
And I was a hospitalist for about 6 years.
Okay.
And then about 2 years, I've been doing outpatient medicine here in town at Up to Par.
Okay. So I actually worked for an agency here called Arizona's Children. They closed. It was for children with autism, behavioral problems, like stemming because of their ADHD or mental health problems. And-
Then I got to introduce you both before you leave to someone in the building.
Okay. Yeah. And I worked there for a year. I was just a social worker, but the stories I would hear, like how here in Yuma, unfortunately for children, because that's what it was birth to 18 years old, our clients, and there's not much resources or support for mental health. And especially children, we're not that educated in that, especially how we're in the Hispanic community. I feel like it's more like, oh, the kid's just being whiny. No, I feel like it stems, like, why is he acting this way or she acting this way? Why, if you don't do the routine, why is he lashing out or she? So what I would tell these parents or caregivers, I would say, going back to what you said, what are you eating? what are you feeding these children? Because they're like, oh, the medicine's not working. Like, we need to up it. I'm like, no. And I shouldn't have given this, but I told them, by me, I would take them off the medicine and start training them how to eat. Because they were like, oh, giving them hot Cheetos and Skittles and Gatorade and all the junk that the
Which
ADHD.
two of those things are about to be outlawed in California.
Yes. They are.
I sent you that text, the California outlawing hot Cheetos and Gatorade.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a start, but I don't think it's going to be very effective.
Right.
And I just think
be
they're
a black
barking up.
market for Gatorade.
I just think they're barking up the wrong tree.
Yeah.
I don't think that's
so,
the way
too.
to do it.
No.
But I think it's remove the government subsidies for high fructose corn syrup.
Yes. And that's one of the things my husband and I were talking about. That's money. He says it's cheaper to make, faster. You know, that's why he was just like amazed. Everything, if you're not careful, everything contains that. And like going back to what I was telling the parents, I'm like, you need to train your child how to eat a healthier. I mean, it starts with you too, because I mean, the majority of these parents were obese, and
I feel like society is graduating now because high food production. Like, we've never had cheaper food in history. It's only been like 100 years, but before that, people were dying of starvation.
Yeah.
So it's almost like, what's worse, dying of starvation early or like having a chronic illness later? So now we're at that other turning point of like, well, why can't we do a little bit of both? Like, have some of the good stuff and take
Why
away
can't
the
we
bad?
have a quality of life?
yeah.
And not be in bondage to
But
agencies that are tyrannical.
We're at another turning point, though. Like, people like Leslie are self-researching and finding solutions to their own problems. Like, it's very commendable what you're doing, and you must lucky to have
Thank you.
around.
I mean, like I said, like I told Dr. Joe, I think, you called me, right? One time we spoke before this, and I told him, by no means I have a medical license. By no means I'm telling myself, oh, I'm a doctor. No, I don't want that, because I don't want someone knocking on the door like, hi.
You are a mother.
Yes.
That's way more sacred.
I thank you. And I feel like society wants to take that away from us as women.
3-time mother.
Yes. 3 times.
I
All
got
girls.
that from her Instagram. All girls?
Yes.
Okay.
All girls. And
So they got your mitochondria.
yeah, hey. Again, going back to what you said, like, society is scared of women for some reason, and they're trying to, that's another podcast, but that's why I'm trying to help women with this. Maybe this can help them with their fertility issues. I'm not saying it's going to go away, but it can help. It can help with their periods.
It certainly can't hurt.
Women are scared to have their periods nowadays.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I mean, I know
crazy.
why, but it's just things around us, the environment, what we eat, it's making it worse. And I think going to the doctor again, guess what the doctor's going to prescribe? Birth control, another form
Unless
of poison.
it's Dr. Joe.
I mean, I'm not saying.
Well, I mean, so EE2, again, another shout out to Dr. Anthony J of Esther Generation. I know you're busy, man, but you got to get on here with us.
Every episode it comes up.
But women take birth control, and women urinate like everybody else, and the birth control goes into the aquifers, and the ethinyl estradiol goes back into our water supply. So we're all drinking birth control to some degree.
Yeah.
And that's just one of the chemical hits that people are getting. Especially if they don't, filter their water adequately. And, city municipal services do a great job of preventing us from dying of dysentery. But, we have to finish the job and get the birth control and the heavy metals and all the other stuff out of our water.
Yes, I agree.
But I mean, another thing, and a naturopath told me this about minerals, our body will hold on to heavy metals and make use of them when we lose the good minerals. And so when people do detoxes, they have to make sure to replete the good stuff. So do a pulsive detox and then a pulsive repletion, a pulsive detox, a pulsive repletion. So a lot of these naturopaths will do this alternating thing.
Yes.
And from the sounds of this, if this thing has 92 of the 108 minerals that are required, I mean, this is repletion like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah.
But if it causes some people to have frequent stools, maybe it does have a detox effect.
I think it does. it, like you said, you have to replenish. And what a lot of people do, they go and buy that green powder. Oh, I'm going to detox or whatever, or a pill. And then they don't get back those lost minerals. And then they lose, they're like deficient in iron, vitamin D. I mean, I feel like everybody's deficient in vitamin D. That's one of the things that a lot of people are, and that's a big issue. Vitamin D. People are afraid of the sun. I don't know why. They're like, oh, I sunburn. I'm like, maybe it's like you said, the seed oils that you're eating that are causing you to burn.
I mean, another part of it is sunglasses. So if you wear sunglasses, it was in a study I read a while ago, but if you're wearing sunglasses and you're out in the sun, you're going to burn easier.
Yeah.
Because your eyes are not getting all of the visual data required to signal your skin to adapt to the sun. So
don't wear
now
sunglasses.
Now it's tricky. Now I'm not saying not to wear sunglasses, because you got to wear sunglasses when you're driving, because glare can harm your eyes. So you should always have sunglasses in the car. You should always have sunglasses on the water. But if you're not around a lot of reflective surfaces, and if you can wear a hat and like long sleeves, the sun is going to blast through most clothes. Most people don't even get outside.
No.
I mean, my joke for Yuma, and I say this to a lot of patients in Yuma, looking out the window doesn't mean you're going to get vitamin D.
No.
So you got to go outside and get some sun. And I've seen people with super tanned skin, and their vitamin D's in the toilet. So vitamin D can get inactivated, which means you have to put the raw material in there.
Yes.
And getting sunlight will facilitate it being converted.
So what do you think about sunscreen? Because that's...
The only one to use is the zinc oxide based one. Any chemicals that end in benzone, like avobenzone, oxybenzone, those chemicals cause skin cancer. So nobody should be using any of that stuff. And if enough people knew that, like, the industry would just die overnight.
Yeah.
Besides the fact that the benzones destroy the coral reefs. I learned that when I took my solo trip to Hawaii, and
it's outlawed in Hawaii. You can't you can't snorkel, swim with sun lotion on.
They have signs at least at Hanama Bay.
Okay. I
But-
didn't know that.
but it's been
I
like
haven't been to
that.
Hawaii, so I don't know.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh gosh, no, that's crazy. I didn't know that. I
Right.
mean, I asked because I follow a lot of like natural pages of women, like mainly mothers, like you said, mothers. Trying to see the best way to live, and help their child, their spouse, and those around. And they say that sunscreen is, like you said, maybe there's some that are good, but the majority are bad. They cause more skin cancer than not wearing it. And then, like I said, people are afraid to go out in the sun. I don't know why. I try to get some sunlight, but make sure it's not like when the rays are too high, because too
that
much
morning one.
Yes.
The morning
sunrise,
one.
sunset.
Yeah.
This is the best time.
I
And
try
then-
to do it now, like it rises now like 6:30, so
Yeah.
I try to get like at least my face covered in 10-20 minutes in the morning because it's mild.
and then do grounding at the same
Grounding,
time.
yes.
Put your barefoot on the grass, the
Yes.
dirt, whatever.
I need to do that.
So the grounding, it's funny that, because my kids are always barefoot when they're home. And especially when they're outside, if this floor is not wet, okay, go. But when it's wet, they wear shoes. But my mom, again, Hispanics, Mexicans especially, the kids are barefoot, they're going to get sick. I'm like,
Descalzo.
no, they need the earth feeling,
Yeah, the
like,
earth, yeah.
yeah. And I always I ignore her. I'm like, oh, mom, like nothing's gonna happen. Or like, oh, it's because one of my girls has like seasonal asthma.
Okay.
So that's why she's always like, oh, she can't be barefoot. I'm like, mom, she needs her, immunity needs to build. Like she's not going to get an asthma attack because of that. It's other factors that build up. So when I know that she's getting like wheezy, then we give her treatment. She does take like
Nebs?
Yeah, Nebs. Yeah.
Do you know about the pressure point over here on the side of the elbow here?
No.
You can mash on these pressure points here, and you can kind of open up the airways. It's like a
Really?
reflexive pressure point there.
Not know that.
It's right here. So I'll just show you right here.
Okay.
You just dig your fingers in there. Is that tender on you at all?
Kind of.
But do you have any respiratory issues at all?
Not that I know of.
Yeah,
You need to
nothing.
do this on Lana.
So Lana has some
That girl,
bronchospasm.
I wish she would have stayed. Yeah, she's got allergies. Like she's just constantly.
Really?
Well, allergies. Is she eating cereal?
No. Since I've known her here 7 months, it's constantly sneezing, wheezing.
Does she drink milk?
Probably.
Eat cereal?
Probably.
And if it's not A2 milk, I mean, all the milk, and especially if you're eating cereal, any kind of cereal, especially anything
Lana,
that the
we got
USDA
work to do.
puts
We're
on their
gonna see
website.
Dr. Joe tomorrow.
Yeah,
do that
just-
thing on her tomorrow.
Yeah, but so like sometimes if patients are open to it, like I'll just kind of gently kind of grind my fingertips
Yeah.
on their
Interesting.
lateral epicondyle, like this groove here. And it can open up your airway. And the way I discovered that pressure point, I didn't learn it from my sister who knows Chinese medicine. I actually discovered it by accident. I was in Fargo. It was minus 40 outside because it was like Christmas time. So, and I just come in from outside and I had taken a lot of deep breaths from getting out of my warm car and my airway went whoosh, it just closed up.
Oh, God, yeah.
And I got inside and I was used to bronchospasm. I was like, I'm like, oh, it's another bronchospasm. I went to the kitchen and I accidentally slammed my arm perfectly into the door frame of the pantry. And instantly it just opened up my airway. And I was like, oh, I'm going to try that. So now I massage the lateral epicondyle on my patients and I can make bronchospasm go away. In some of them, it doesn't always work. But
Okay.
That's like some acupuncture stuff right there.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
The Chinese
Yeah.
acupuncture.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's the SI6 for headaches and then 3 ton down for like nausea.
So when
Yeah.
I was little, my mom used to take us to this lady. I think she lived in like Winter Haven. That when we would like get sick, she would massage like points of our body. For example, we would get sick from our what are these called?
Tonsils?
Tonsils, yeah. And I remember me and my sister would like it was bad, and you would have to go 3 days straight. And like I think right here, she would just massage you and to break them or something like that. And it worked. I haven't had any issues with my tonsils.
So she massaged your
Yeah, right here from like this point on, like this. And like I don't know, I was little, but I remember how both sides. It hurt so bad though when she was doing it, and it hurt so bad. And I mean, rest in
I had
peace, this lady. I
acupuncture.
don't know. I mean, she was old when.
No, those kind of like I had an acupuncturist where I went for back pain and he said you fight pain with pain and like kick the shit out of me with a stick. But it did
Yeah.
work. He said you fight fire with fire, pain with pain. And then he
These
proceeded
people,
to like
I don't know this lady. She was very older side.
they
I was
know
little.
like the pressure
They know
points.
the
Like
pressure
Dr. Joe,
points,
you're amazing, man. How many doctors do that stuff?
The other thing to consider that this makes me think of are the Shaolin monks. I saw a documentary years ago. Shaolin monks, at least the ones that were studied for the documentary, their bone mineral density is several times higher than that of pro football players. And they don't have any of the injuries that pro football players have. They spend their lives hardening their bodies, doing kind of all these micro traumas. So they'll gently, run their head or their forehead or their arms, their elbows into like wooden planks and tree trunks.
Yeah.
But they don't do it enough to even break their skin. It just causes irritation, and then they massage. And they do this for like years, and it gets to the point where as the Chinese saying goes, it is as if they are wearing an iron shirt.
Okay.
That's why
Wow.
it's similar to iron shirt training, but iron shirt training is like
That's a short.
it's a qigong thing, but
That's a short right there. Shaolin
but you
monk.
have to devote your life to it. You got to do it consistently to see the benefits of it. But there are some people, there are parts of their body that are just
Yeah.
almost indestructible.
That's crazy. I didn't know that.
Me either.
Learn something new every day.
Yeah, that's why I'm the co-host here.
Yeah.
You're welcome to be co-host.
Well,
This was great.
Yeah,
I mean,
like
Instagram
I just
underneath the Dr. Joe, and I'll like edit it a little bit for Yuma to make it local.
I just loved how spontaneous this was.
Yeah,
Like
and thank you for
like
the
we hit all
CMOS
these
food. Of
topics.
course.
And thank
Keep it
you
in the
again.
fridge.
Thank you.
yeah.
Yeah, of course.
I'm gonna have my wife take a spoon a day, and me too.
Yeah.
No, we'll get rid of this before the 18th for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Again, no more than 3 tablespoons.
No,
I don't want you guys coming
Only
like,
one.
hey,
I'm doing one.
Why am I feeling so funny?
Yeah.
But make sure you drink a lot of water too. You gotta keep,
That I already do. I do like 1 or 2 of these a day.
That's good. Yeah. Water. Keep the lid clean. Like this one, when I made it, I don't know, maybe got moved around in the fridge or something, and it try to clean that because
Okay.
it after you twist it so much, it does get like jelly around, and it can contaminate the rest of the good sea moss. Does that
Okay.
make sense?
Yeah.
And avoid double dipping, just because our mouth is full of bacteria.
Microbiome, yeah.
This is the same concept of making your own yogurt.
Yeah.
Do you make your own yogurt?
I don't, but I remember you said
You have a video on that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I saw it on YouTube.
Well,
actually, I think that's the one that Lily showed me.
It's a 24-minute one.
I think.
And it was over 2
Yeah,
days.
Lily liked that
But
one.
it's the same thing. You never want to you want to touch the yogurt as minimally as you can
Yeah.
because you don't want to disrupt the bacteria
Yeah.
in there. As soon as it gets too liquidy,
Yeah.
you better make a new batch
Because-
and re-enliven it. Otherwise, it's all going to go bad.
Yeah. It's
So-
like, have you ever tried making sourdough bread?
I've never made it. No.
So, I mean, it's pretty much the same concept. Like, it's bacteria that, is fermenting over 12 days. And you have to make sure you're feeding it. You're making sure you're not adding too much water or too much flour, because then you'll kill it.
Huh.
Or you'll just it won't rise. Like, it won't make your bread rise. Like,
We're going to do a show on that. I want to learn how to make kombucha.
oh,
Do you know how to do
kombucha
this?
too. There's this girl, I don't know her
No,
name,
I don't know how
but
to-
there's
I
a
need to
local kombucha store.
Kombucha Libre.
I mean, I've never tried their kombucha, but I've heard really good things about
David makes
You been?
kombucha.
Kombucha Libre.
David Marchuk makes kombucha.
Oh, that's right.
By the way, folks, we're going to be having a very special
Okay,
guest.
yeah, he's coming
on.
back. You're
This
welcome
is-
to come to that one.
Okay.
We'll do like 4 of us, right?
Sure.
The,
Oh no,
kombucha,
you
we
should
need to
meet
learn.
David Marchuk
Okay.
and
You
his
need to
family.
meet this guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh man,
You guys
this
are
is so
cut from the
exciting.
same
Honestly,
I'm so
I'm
excited.
I'm about networking. Like, if the more I have several girls that are in the natural path, whatever you want to call
Yeah.
this, and they're like, we should just make a pop-up farmers market or something and
Yeah.
sell our stuff, or just get the word out. I'm like, yeah, and then the government comes and shuts it down. Just kidding.
Nah, they can't.
Or the city.
We're
or
decentralized
decentralized.
authority for natural products.
I know.
Well, you got to meet
Whole natural
Marchuk. I
farm
forgot
products.
about Marchuk with the kombucha. I got to learn from him.
But
Yeah, they make their own.
I spend way too much money at Costco on kombucha, so I got to learn.
Yeah, that's another thing. I've been trying to make my own bread, but it takes a lot of patience and a lot of tries to get it just right.
Yeah.
And just because, again, everything, if you go to the store, even the good brand like Sprouts, it's expensive for something that you can just make at home.
yourself. Yeah.
And again, it's marketing.
Yeah.
Oh, organic. Okay, are you sure it's organic? How many times was it sprayed, or how many? You know what I mean?
How long ago was
Yes,
the ground
was
sprayed?
it- yeah.
That's all organic
Yes.
means now.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean
Wow.
never sprayed. It just means how long ago.
So, my brother-in-law, he works in a chicken farm, and he's like the vice president of the company or something like that. And he told us, because he brings home eggs fresh from the farm, and it has the poop on it and feathers.
Good.
And I was like, and I said, in America, this is not right. Like that, you would get
Shut down.
Yeah, shut down
by the health authorities.
Yes, this is a no-no.
by the health authorities.
And he's like, no, here, the more feathers and the more waste it has of the hen, the better.
Well, that increases the shelf life.
And you cannot wash it because, again, you decrease the shelf life. You contaminate it. That's how it's so crazy.
I mean, you're going to wash the eggs before you cook them anyway. So, I mean, you're going to cook the eggs.
Yeah.
And the only part of the egg that, anybody really eats raw anyway is the yolk. You shouldn't really eat the white raw.
But
the
here's
yolk is where all the nutrition is.
Yes, but here's the thing. Here in America, if you eat the yolk, it's cholesterol.
Oh, it's bad for you.
It's bad for
Yeah.
you. So
Well-
it's like, what?
Well, now there are studies showing that consumption of saturated fat decreases risk of stroke, or at least it's less associated with a stroke risk. When for decades, the AHA has been vilifying saturated fats, and
Yeah.
that is just wrong. And Mayo Clinic's part of the problem because they still have this nonsense on their website that they need to get rid of. And if they want to debate me about it, then they should show me the data. But they're not going to care. We have to do this ourselves. This is a
Yeah.
grassroots thing. This is
Yeah.
a person-to-person, community
Yeah.
effort to get people healthier.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
we'll have all your links
Yes.
below,
Yes.
everything that you want us to have.
Oh yeah,
Of
we're
course.
sharing this with the Yuma clinical trial. Dr. Joe, sure
Yeah.
you're gonna hopefully come back with and
Yeah,
meet
of
Mark
course.
Chuck.
Whenever, just let me know and I'll open up my schedule and get
Thank
more
you.
people healthy. Yeah, of course.
Go follow Leslie right now underneath on Instagram.
Just get over there. I don't even want you to subscribe to my channel. Just go to Leslie's channel.
Yeah. Maybe
Tune in next
unsubscribe from .9
No,
hour. Just kidding.
no,
Just
no.
kidding.
Subscribe to his.
Like, subscribe, comment, share. All right. Then go follow.
What he said. See you next time.
Thank you guys.
Bye-bye.
Nice meeting you.